They say humiliation either breaks you, or builds you into something unrecognizable. For me, it became fuel, jet fuel. Because on the day they told me to pack my box, I decided I would make them pack all of theirs. And by the time I was done, an entire $40 million office building would be empty, echoing with the ghosts of executives who once laughed at me. My revenge didn't start with anger. It started with a smile. The same kind of smile they wore when they fired me. My name is Bellamy Hart, and before everything happened, before the eviction notices, the lawsuits, the boardroom meltdowns, the headline that would go viral, I was just an assistant. Not a glamorous assistant. Not the kind who wears stilettos and takes calls in glass-walled offices. No, I sat in the corner of the 21st floor of Wellmark Holdings, the shining corporate jewel of downtown Atlanta. My title was administrative associate. My salary was barely surviving. And my future was non-existent, according to people who thought their job titles made them gods. But titles can be taken away. Power can be transferred. Buildings can change hands. And that's where the story really begins. It was a Wednesday. I remember because I always wore my blue blouse on Wednesdays, it was the only one that didn't wrinkle on the train ride. I had just finished triple-checking the quarterly report that my boss, Jasper Hill, was supposed to present to the board an hour later. Except Jasper didn't check emails. Or spreadsheets. Or facts. He checked golf scores and Tinder. So when he barged into the office at 10:42 a.m. with a face the color of an overripe tomato, I knew he fucked up. But naturally, he blamed me. Bellamy. His voice cracked across the office like a whip. People looked up. Someone snickered. You sent me the wrong file. I sent the updated report at midnight, I replied calmly. You didn't download it. He didn't like that answer. Suddenly HR appeared. 3 people. Clipboards. Cold eyes. Bellamy, said the HR director, a woman whose face permanently looked like she smelled something unpleasant, we need to talk. They didn't talk. They marched me into a conference room and shut the blinds like I was being interrogated for war crimes. Then came the phrase, the one every corporate victim knows. Pack your box. My heart dropped. I didn't do anything wrong. That's what they all say. It's best for company culture. Your role is being terminated. We wish you the best. They said it all like robots. Then Jasper walked by the glass, saw me crying, and smirked. A smirk. That was the moment something inside me unraveled, then rewove itself into something sharper. They handed me a cardboard box. I put my pens inside. A mug. A picture of my mom. Every item felt heavier than it should have. The humiliation wasn't just personal, it was public. Coworkers watched like I was a corpse being wheeled out. I left that building with 1 box, 1 broken reputation, and 1 raging inferno inside. 2 weeks later I got a letter in the mail addressed to me from a law firm I didn't recognize. Inside was a notice. You are the beneficiary of the late Lyle Hart's estate. Lyle Hart, my estranged grandfather. A man I met twice. A man who barely knew my name. Inside the envelope was a deed. A document. A property report. I skimmed it once. Then twice. Then a 3rd time. I couldn't breathe. Because he hadn't left me cash. He hadn't left jewelry. He had left me a commercial property. Not just any property. The office building that Wellmark Holdings rented, the building I'd been fired from. They were tenants. I was now the owner. The universe, destiny, karma, whatever you call it, had just handed me a loaded weapon. And I intended to fire. Inherited property sounds glamorous. It's not. It's meetings with property managers, banks, lawyers, and contractors. It's inspections and paperwork that might as well be written in ancient Sumerian. But I wasn't stupid. I learned fast. Faster than anyone expected. And legally. I had full control. The property was actually worth $42 million. Wellmark Holdings paid a massive lease. A lease that was expiring soon. My lawyer, a sharp, elegant woman named Margot Quinn, looked over the documents with me. You have options, she said. You can renew their lease and make millions. Or, I asked, you can evict them. The idea hit me like lightning. I remembered Jasper's smirk. The HR director's cold stare. The laughter when I carried that cardboard box out. You know what I want, I said. Margot smiled slowly. This will be historic. I scheduled the visit on a Monday morning. Peak occupancy. Maximum impact. When I walked into the lobby wearing a tailored suit instead of my old wrinkled blouse, the receptionist froze. Can I help you? Yes, I said. I'm the new building owner. I'm here to meet with your CEO. Her mouth literally fell open. Within minutes, I was escorted to the executive floor, a place I had never been allowed before. the CEO, Gerald Mercer, stood to greet me. He looked like a man carved out of privilege and old money. I was told you wanted to discuss our lease renewal, he said. How can we help you? Oh, I replied sweetly, I'm not here to renew anything. His smile twitched. What does that mean? I slid a folder across his desk. Inside was a 90-day eviction notice. We're terminating your tenancy. You can't be serious, he barked. I'm extremely serious. This building is our headquarters. And yet, I replied, standing, you'll need to find a new one. Gerald's face contorted. Do you have any idea what this will cost us? Yes, I said with a smile. $40 million. Because I had already been approached by a large real estate investment group wanting to buy the building at a premium. I would get richer. They would get homeless. Corporate homeless, but still. Gerald slammed his fist on the desk. This is insane. No, I said. This is justice. Within 3 days, the news spread like wildfire. I became a rumor, then a myth, then a headline. Boomer landowner evicts $40 million office after, pack your box, humiliation. People whispered my name like a ghost story. The HR director confronted me in the lobby once. Her voice shaky. You can't do this. You did it to me first, I replied. I'm just returning the box. Executives scrambled like ants. They tried negotiating, threatening, begging. Jasper tried too. He cornered me near the elevators one morning. Bellamy, look. His tone was suddenly soft. Friendly. Fake. I didn't want you fired. HR made me do it. Really? I asked. Because I distinctly remember your smirk. His cheeks reddened. That was misunderstood. I leaned in. Pack your box. His nostrils flared. Bitch. Landlord, I corrected. Get it right. If you've never seen 400 employees try to relocate an entire headquarters in 90 days, let me tell you. It's beautiful chaos. The boardroom shattered into infighting. Budgets broke. Departments collapsed. Their stock dipped 8% in 2 weeks. And me, I watched. Calm. Collected. Victorious. But revenge wasn't complete. Not yet. Because I had one more surprise. 2 weeks before their eviction date, I called Gerald Mercer. We need to meet, I said. He arrived with 2 lawyers. I arrived with Margot. Get to the point, Gerald snapped. Of course, I said. The building's buyer wants to finalize paperwork early. You're selling it? Yes. For $55 million. That's impossible, he spat. The building is worth 42. Was, Margot corrected. New tech companies want the location. And they want it without your tenancy. Gerald turned purple. You'll destroy us, he said quietly. No, I said. You destroyed yourselves the day you fired the wrong person. I slid the final agreement across the table. My buyer wants the premises vacant in 10 days. So please. I smiled the exact same smile Jasper had worn. Pack your boxes. Their final day was cinematic. Trucks lined the street. Security escorted executives carrying sad little cardboard boxes. Printers. Plants. Awards. All the things they once lorded over others. Jasper walked out last. He didn't look at me. He didn't have the courage. I stood at the entrance, arms crossed, watching like a queen reclaiming her kingdom. Someone asked, why did you do it? I answered honestly. Because they taught me that when someone humiliates you publicly, you repay them publicly. After the sale closed, I had more money than I knew what to do with. But wealth wasn't the best part. The best part was closure. No, victory. I donated part of the money to a women's legal fund for unfair workplace terminations. I hired former Wellmark employees who'd always been kind to me. I built my own company, Heart Ventures. And I made sure my office had one rule. No one gets humiliated for doing their job. But sometimes, if I walk past a store window and see my reflection, I remember the girl who carried a cardboard box out of a building she would one day own. And I smile, because my revenge began with a smirk, and ended with an empire.